Hello, this is The Slayer, and you're watching TVLine.com.
Welcome back to another edition of Reality Check, your weekly deep dive into all things unscripted television, unofficially brought to you by the awesomeness of Allison Irahita.
And I want to give a shout out to Allison who backed you up there.
Yeah, she did great.
Wow. Wow. Amazing.
I'm Michael Slezak, and I'm here with American Idol Season 6 standout Melinda Doolittle, and we are going to talk about American Idol Top 8 Week. Melinda, they used the save.
They did.
Yes, they did. That's what happened this week.
We are unanimous. We're going to use the save tonight.
They rained so much confetti down in an attempt to generate excitement for this. I kind of feel like they needed to rain $100 bills down in viewers' living rooms to really get the blood pumping. I guess I get it. Maybe Sam should finish 6th and not 8th, but
They only have a couple more weeks to use the save at this point. So I think where you had a guy who was a front runner at the beginning that they saw something special in, I think they're really hoping for that specialness to come through again. They're trying obviously to see the light in him because now he's got lamps behind him instead of light bulbs. Whatever. They are trying with Sam.
He is just going to be such a ladies' man.
I've been trying. I went back and watched Ed Sheeran videos of Lego House because I was like, maybe Ed doesn't really, emote that much. Maybe he's getting it from Ed or whatever.
I'm out of sight, I'm out of mind. I'll do it all for you in time.
I think it's just the connectivity in the vocals.
Yeah.
Not the connectivity even in the eyes anymore. It's can your vocals just ebb and flow and do something, help us out here, and then we can at least hear the passion in your voice.
while you were talking about his vocal, all I could think about was a flat line. We're in the ER and it's like,
I think my grace is a breaking, and it's more than I can take.
Caleb's at the same intensity level all the time, but it's up here, so you
Yes.
can get away with it. You can't get away with having only one emotional volume and it's sort of at 3. He got the save because he's a cute teenage boy and he seems like a nice kid. He didn't get it because his body of work warranted a save. It's just, nobody can tell me otherwise. I won't make you try to. Perhaps the only possible explanation is they felt CJ should go home before him.
CJ should have gone home first. And I don't think they would have saved CJ.
No.
So I think it was the injustice of that they were writing as opposed to anything else. But they could have done that last week with Majesty.
Thank you very much.
Sing cold, you got to let the spirit take control. Talking about sunshine.
CJ, he was better on Soul Shine than he had been in previous weeks, but he is not performing at the level of an 8th or 7th or 6th place finisher on Idol. He has a lovely girlfriend.
Oh, yes.
And he seems to sing with a lot of passion, but when you've got Harry once again being like,
intonation, singing in tune, that was infinitely better. I'm really proud of you for working on that.
we're way into the season.
You know what? I have a fundamental problem with CJ Harris because when they went back and showed his audition and you heard J-Lo say,
There was things that you do consistently wrong.
Understand.
But we can fix that.
who is we? Who's going to fix that? She's not in a room with him anywhere fixing that. What do you mean we can fix it? If the thing that's consistently incorrect is your pitch, you fix it. Before you come to the show, fix it. I really was like, all season long, and we've been dealing with this.
Yeah, and it's not even like they have a mentor this season, so, oh snap, I went there.
All right, yo, I'm listening.
Yo, right?
Yo.
I did love, though, when Harry was talking to CJ,
If you don't get that pitch together, they're gonna auto-tune your voice and suck all the life out of it.
dude, you're sitting next to Jennifer Lopez.
I love you, puppy. I love you, love you, love you, puppy.
That was such a burn. I wanted J-Lo to put Neosporin on it.
Dang it, Michael. You're going to make me be mean this week. I feel like for J-Lo, the auto-tuning is part of her charm.
Oh boy.
I love you, puppy. I love you, love you, love you, puppy.
I think it was a little bit of a surprise to see Malaya in the bottom 3 this week because she'd been on this sort of upward trajectory, but I kind of felt like she was the right person to fill out the bottom 3 this week.
If we're basing it on this week where I don't feel like anybody really had a major misstep, if we're basing it on that, then it wasn't as shocking to me. but there's just something about that girl.
Ain't no way for me to love you.
Her voice has all the potential in the world. It really does. And the more she calms down, the more she zones in, the better it gets.
I feel in my heart of hearts that she needed to wait another 2 or 3 years.
Well, it's beginning age. I'm too young. They're gonna say, "Oh, you got time to grow." You're just so that's what I thought they were gonna say.
And watching her do Ain't No Way, I just didn't believe her.
Don't try to be someone you're not.
It felt like she was playing that rather than feeling it, if it makes any sense. And then if you combine that with her duet,
Boy, I hear you in my dreams. I feel your whispers across the sea.
I'm pretending duets didn't happen. I'm pretending they didn't happen.
don't make Sam and Malaya sing a love duet again.
You make it easier when life gets hard.
Let's talk about who we liked this week. Who was your number one? If you had to give it to one person, who was your number one this week?
I'm gonna give it to Alex.
The song was great. His song was really cool.
Take your hands from your face so high.
The song was great. His voice was great. I felt like hearing it with the band really helped. And he, for me, was the only contestant. There were maybe 2 contestants where I thought as soon as they finished, I'm downloading this right now, and I want to put it on my favorites list. Not just I'm downloading it and it will be somewhere in my iTunes.
My only complaint was I couldn't understand all the lyrics. I think he needs to just improve his diction just slightly, and I guess that's probably why I would put him in a tie for second rather than a tie for first.
Are the star, so I look into your soft green feet.
Speaking of lyrics, they say a man that's worth your tears will never make you cry.
That line right there put Jess in my top 3.
They say a man who's worth your tears will never make you cry.
I felt a little irked that the judges were kind of lukewarm to her, almost more so than any other contestant.
You got this going on, the shoulder baby that's going on, but the legs are like dead still.
She wrote that song, she killed the performance. It was driving, it was forceful, it was passionate. She looked excited and alive, and they put her on a pedestal, so I don't know how much walking around she was supposed to do.
That was just a blue-eyed lie.
There was a definite top 3 this week. You can jumble or juggle Alex, Jessica, and Gina any way you like. But Gina, I thought, even though it wasn't a song that she wrote herself, was equal in creativity to the other 2.
I leave with every piece of you. Don't underestimate the things that I will do.
The arrangement was crazy on Rolling in the Deep and brave.
She didn't feel tied down to what Adele did, which made the song so great for me because you keep hearing in that song da 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 da, and she never once did that. And she was so true to herself the entire time, all the way through to the end, that it sounded like a different song to me.
She's an exciting performer. There is something about her that's just visually compelling when she's up on that stage. She could be a real star for this show. Speaking of unpredictable versus predictable, I think Caleb might be in a little bit of a rut, and I think he has to be very, very careful his next 2 performances, what he decides to give us, because there is no save. The save has been used rather imprudently, and everybody's got to be very careful in the next 2 weeks.
While I think that Caleb did a great job, I'm not taking anything from his performance, but I totally understood what Harry said when he said,
I would love if you did something that wasn't so loud once.
he was differentiating between like singing a ballad and singing softly, because Caleb has done ballads. He's done Adele. He slowed down Lady Gaga, but he's still loud.
We've heard about 10 times of you belting it. Let's try something else next week.
I think Harry was just saying, back off. Just back off and give us something tender. That's That's what we're asking for. And I would love to hear that from Caleb, because then I think that rounds him out as a rock singer.
And I'll just say this, I think Dexter did save himself from the bottom 3 this week by doing exactly what Harry wants Caleb to do.
Counting down the seconds, I'm standing in the wreckage of love.
And also proving to America that he could sing. I think people had maybe started to question how good of a vocalist he was, and that was a really good vocal. Definitely upgraded with the addition of Allison Irahita. It was almost a duet.
Everybody's got their demons.
Wow, she's good.
Everybody's got their reasons.
I loved it, actually, and I have not loved Dexter all season, so kudos to Dexter on that one.
Let's jump over to The Voice. I have a bone to pick with the show this year. There is no voting until April 21st.
The show's pretty much over by then, right? Isn't it over in like May?
We're gonna get like 2 weeks of voting? This is crazy. They've decided to have no more live playoffs, and they are letting the coaches narrow down their teams from 5 each to 3 each. It used to be we'd pick 2 of the 5 and then the coaches would save one of their bottom 3, and now it's like all in their hands. And I'm afraid to give Shakira that much power because she's a little crazy.
The winner of this battle is Deja.
No. We can't give that to Shakira because Deja is going to be there over some really great people.
Learning to love, just starting to crawl.
She just was not better than Dendel. She was not.
Your voice is earthly and at the same time heavenly.
That's what the angels are gonna sound like. Why am I trying to be good?
Stop it.
Sorry, that was overly cruel. Deja's fine, but she is so supremely not ready for prime time. If she's still here April 21st, she's gonna be the first one out. And I feel like Dendel was an interesting, surprising, very strong singer who maybe had real potential to go far in this competition. And I can't believe A, she didn't beat Deja, and B, she's out.
It was over my head. I know nothing at all.
Adam didn't steal her. He stole Morgan. He stole...
I spend her love until she's broke inside.
The other reason I'm terrified about the judges having all of this power is there a chance I'm not gonna have an opportunity to vote for Cassandra?
No, there's no chance of that. I mean, there can't be. First of all, Blake called her a 1 in a million voice.
You're changing this show. You're that good. You're that good.
He's not gonna send her. It's Cassandra. She's the original beast master. She's why we came up with the phrase.
Man thinks about a little bitty baby girl.
She doesn't go home. If she goes home, we don't watch anymore. We don't. Because there's no point. Because then it's not even a singing competition. It's not a TV show. It's nothing. It's nothing without Cassandra.
If she's eliminated by Blake prior to the top 12 and I don't get to vote on her, I'm gonna start a riot. Stuff being thrown in the street, trash cans overturned, torches, screaming, crazy.
It's not gonna happen. They watch this show. Listen, read my lips, Blake. You don't send Cassandra home. Do you understand? Don't do it. All right then.